Yeah, man. How we doing, everybody? Quick, spontaneous little stream here from the Schule. If you don't know, that is German for school. I'm here. We've been studying perfumery all days, which is all interesting and all, but you know, I had to. No, I needed a break. I needed to connect with some of my black hole peoples in here. And I don't know if anyone is going to show up right now because this was very unannounced. Hopefully, one or two is watching. Maybe you'll catch this later. If anybody's in the house, just holler. What happened? What happened? Why are we doing this? Yesterday, we threw a little 1 hour beach shower. Spontaneous, fun idea. And I'm thinking this is a really fun thing because there was some turn up. So what we did was I threw y'all a couple of samples and then we just challenged each other to come up with whatever we come up with in 1 hour. And now we're going to listen to that. I haven't listened to the beats yet, so I'm really excited to see what you did with it being my sample and all. So I'm thinking this, I've been thinking about this today and let's make it a reoccurring thing because I love this way of working. Let me motivate that a little bit later. First of all, we're going to listen to these here joints. So, as of now, we're not going to do any voting and stuff like that unless people really want to, because this is not a, it's not, how do you say? Hey, Kayla, glad you made it. We got like 2 people in here right now. Exclusive shit. So, yeah, let me explain a little bit more what I was thinking about it is that this 1 hour beach shower thing can happen anytime when you least expect it. I don't want to have set rules for it in the same way that we have with the weekly beat challenge because that makes for some spontaneity. You're not always going to make it, being that we all have different time zones and whatnot, of course, naturally. But when you can catch it, you can catch it. And I also want to encourage anyone to challenge anyone else to do it. So let's see what we got here. Slip 26. Slip 26, he was a quicken. Coming in at 45 minutes. Quoting him, probably not my best work. In a rush, I will snag a chunk of the provided sample and reverse, distort, change key till I get what I want because it's faster than searching through a sample for the parts I wouldn't have to do that to. So he's explaining a bit of his method in the rush. He will snag a chunk of what it is and then just fuck that sample up pretty much until he gets what he wants instead of listening through the whole thing and analyzing it. So that's a good tip if you're in an extreme turbo rush. Piano sample, which was one of the 2 samples I provided yesterday, is reversed and a whole bunch of effects and drums with a bass line. Whee! Listen. Fancy saying, huh? Oh, Dipwith. Did anybody else send you submissions, or do we need to work a bit harder on that with the stems? Top quality studio monitors. So he took one of the piano chords and reversed it and pitched it, I think. Perfect. Perfect. You have 4. Oh my God. Yeah, we need to do a little checkup. Check in on that again. I thought we had way more than 4, but apparently we do not. Sup, Ramen? Good to see you here again. We're just listening to some beats we made on a whim yesterday. What is this, like trip hop? I love that we're branching out from, like the first weeks when we had the beat challenge, it was basically strictly boom bap beats and things of that universe. Now we're hearing all kinds of things. Like yesterday was packed to the filled to the brim with drum and bass, which I love too. I think it's really cool how this has taken an organic twist. Because in the beginning, when I set out what I set out to do, or what I imagined would happen when we started the Discord channel, I thought that we were going to have just a bunch of hip hop, since my channel is pretty hip hop oriented, at least in the tutorials and stuff. But being that we're music lovers of all kinds and that we do electronic music, it seems like a lot of us enjoy doing a little bit of everything. And when there's an opportunity to play around, we will do it and we will kill it. So Joshua, or Slip26, made a really cool something within only 45 minutes. Next up is Dragonite. One of my points with these quick exercises, 1 hour time limit type of positive pressure, is that you can work both on your quantity and your quality at the same time. Because even though you're just shitting something out, so to speak, you are getting that exercise at the same time to perform and fine-tune the quality within that time, which I think Dragonite is a great example of, because he just makes a shitload of music every week, and he just started a few months ago. Granted, you're gonna have that excitement of the the phase of enamorment or infatuation when you first find something you really enjoy. You're gonna spend a lot of time on it in the beginning, but he's really doing that now and constantly improving much, and everybody can get a little bit of that by doing. So here's Dragonite's beat. It's called Whipped Up. Yeah, man. Boom bap is, of course, the foundation for. Even though I get a little bit tired of the traditional recipe type boom bap, it is what made me really fall in love with making music myself. And I still enjoy a banger today. Want to introduce y'all guys to my good friend right here, my classmates.
Hello there.
Chris
And Michelle.
and Michelle. We're doing a live stream right now, listening to some beats, spontaneous type of shit, kind of type of thing, mate. Just think of a jig. What are you guys up to?
I think I'm gonna go study for a bit.
You're studying for a bit.
And I'm just gonna go home. So we finished.
And Michelle is home to work on his YouTube career. Also, he's a YouTuber too, by the way.
How many are watching?
Not many. 6 people.
Yeah. Some 6 people.
Sup?
Goodbye.
Ciao.
Ciao. Me, I used to sample only from vinyl. Every single sound was from vinyl, to the point where it got a bit ridiculous almost. I had this rule set for myself that I'm not touching anything such unauthentic as a non-vinyl sample. Never in my life am I doing that. Now I enjoy sampling vinyl still. It's a great way to, I don't know, I did a video on sampling records with the machine where I talk about my method of doing it, and usually what I would do is buy like 10 or 20 records at once and sample everything into one machine project, and then just start making beats. And see, I have this project, I'll take a few samples and merge them together, save it as a new project, and there's the beginning of one beat, and then another one for the second beat, and so on, and have this main spawn project with all the samples from the records, and then just shoot out like 20 beats from there. And sometimes you will save them as groups so you can bring them into other projects and stuff. Now, I don't sample a lot these days, but I still love the process, you know what I'm saying? It's just I don't show as much love to the crate digging process. Not enough to call myself a crate digger, because in my head, as someone who was very dedicated to it, I used to go out 1 or 2 times a week buying records, but I don't do that a whole lot more often anymore, even though I highly respect it. No, it doesn't really load up CPU like crazy, because when it's only samples in machine, it's not really, well, if you're playing back all of the samples at once, you could see it start tugging on the CPU a little bit, but it's usually when you have multiple instances of VST plugins and stuff like that, that's when you really get a problem. But just having samples loaded in, you can probably go up to 20 groups on my MacBook Pro without any complications. Dragonite's little thing, it was very weird. I have to say that. Let me just listen again. Too weird, Dragonite. A little bit too weird, but that's not what matters. This is exercise that matters, not always being the best. Now let's see what Only Phantom came up with in 52 minutes. He made a beat called Forgotten Organ, and it seems like it's pretty much a full track. I mean, it's 3 minutes, 35 seconds. This guy always impresses. Funny little thing called love. Valo, I don't think you necessarily missed it. We're like halfway through, but we don't have that many beats to listen through. The challenge itself took place yesterday, but there will be more. If you hang out in the Discord, you're gonna know straight away when it happens. And like I explained a little bit earlier, you can rewind if you want to check out the other beats. There's been 2 beats played so far. It's gonna be a spontaneous thing that just happens when it happens. So there's mystery and spontaneity. He's doing this clicky. I love these ASMR type clicky sounds. Fuck off, Buda boy. No, sorry. Buzzkill. I can't write at the same time. Dipwith, you will always be an honorary astronaut in here. Oh yeah, Baloo. What's your nick on there? What's your nickname on the chat? He's a machine, man. He's a goddamn machine. I want to hear more about Phantom's process there, but as he told Shifty that claimed he didn't have time to deal with the sample, etc., which is not true. You can always find a little bit of time and make something beautiful. Like he don't need to you don't need to add nothing to this. It's what it is. Goddamn machine, man. He looped the piano part, so basically one of the samples was that piano loop that I played, and he just used the loop and built a whole track around it. Sometimes you can go simple, and yeah. Rolog I followed with a comment saying that he's horrible with samples and there's no way he's going to be able to fit it in the Z like he wanted to, or the OPZ, I guess. That's one concern I've had with the beat challenges. Like, not everyone is used to working with samples, so maybe we should have a separate type of channel, not channel, but challenge or deal, or make it somehow part of the challenge that you don't necessarily have to use a sample. Need a good solution for that. I made a beat too. I made a quick beat on the OPZ, and since I was already familiar with my samples, I basically extracted them from beats that I already made, or one of them was from a beat that I already made, and another one was just like a chord progression, a long chord progression with a synthesizer. So I decided to just have a little workout on the OPZ to familiarize myself a little bit better with the step component. So what I used with it, anyone who's used the OPZ before, this was fucking brilliant to me. You can use the master track and basically transpose everything. So I just made one bar with this Harpy type synth engine. Plucky, not plucky. You'll know what it is, the synth engine. I just made a one bar loop, and then I used the master track to transpose it a little bit. And then I recorded it live with a couple of effects, like just playing around. And this is what I came up with. It's not horribly advanced, but I think it has a nice vibe to it. It's like the most standard OPZ sound, the first one that shows up, but it's just so beautiful. I can't stop using it. It is so powerful. It's way more powerful than the OP1. By the looks of it, you would be tricked into thinking something else, but it's actually the case. The OPZ, it's got like all the functions of the OP1 except for the tape, obviously, and then some. So don't let the looks fool you. I carry my hand with me everywhere I go now. Only now it's a custom jacket where I can fit it into the pocket like this. Obviously, I would need to add a bass line, but the time ran out and I was a little bit marijuanized. So things weren't moving too quick, but I was really enjoying myself. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Let's see, did we have anyone else? Come in. Zaire pulled through with a beat he calls Memorial, and he used a Uno synth for it. I heard Zaire has been working on a review video for the Uno synth where he's got like 40 hours of gear porn footage. I've seen the teaser for it and it looks awesome, but finish it. Stretch the piano sample. No, I just made a little doodle on the OPZ. Basically all the drum sounds are from my Dangerous Sound kit. I just pitched it a little bit, and the rest is the OPZ. I didn't customize it too much. It was from, like, the foundation was from one of the presets on it. I just did whatever I felt like in the moment, which is kind of like the points also. Videoing things disturbs the flow a little bit sometimes. I love the harp. Wow. Wow. Zaire, if you're watching this, and everybody else, I mean, this is proof of concept. To everybody that says you don't have time in your life to make music, This is the type of shit you can make within an hour. Pretty incredible. Oh, really? That makes me so happy to hear. I have a couple more sound kits up my sleeve. If you like that one, I think you're gonna love that one because that was like my first shot at making one. But I'm gonna make some fire ass sound kits, and I like the size of it too. Like that, it was just enough kick drums, enough snares, enough hi-hats and stuff. Just improving the quality on it for next time. Because every sample library doesn't really need to be like 1 GB of sounds. I feel personally, I mean, I haven't really done the market research, but I think the size is nice. Now we got Affection in here. I haven't heard his beats before. And then we have one last one, Roll Log I. I mean, but looking at this, there's this consistency in the quality throughout. Like these beats took less than an hour to make, and they're basically keeping the same quality as the one that you have a whole week to make. What does that say? You tell me. Affection. There's gonna be something. I love this. White Devil. Yeah, they got no. That's so fucking. Go off topic as you want. That's lovely to hear, man. We got more motivational stuff coming up. I've been trying to balance that a little. Know that like the motivational videos and that's reflection type stuff is really appreciated, but with a way smaller crowd. But I can really notice on the videos, like you guys are appreciating it and interacting with it and putting your own input, which is very interesting to hear about. So I'm gonna keep doing those videos. Sometimes it's like, no, I just got too much on my mind not to make them. So I can't just do machine tutorials 24/7. That's great to hear. And those are also like what gives back the most, to hear that somebody was actually picked up. So I loved to hear that. So Copenhagen, yep, definitely. You're welcome anytime. Let's grab a beer. I'm out here in, I'm usually in town or close to town like every weekday now. So if we can squeeze it in like in an afternoon or close or evening or something like that, that would be the best for me. Or if we really plan ahead, we can plan it, we can schedule it like anytime. I would definitely be down for that. Anything business is very interesting. That was Affections beat, and what can I say? What can I say more? I fucking love that. I love the vibe of it. I couldn't really pick out what was the sample in it, or if he didn't use the sample. To me, that doesn't fucking matter. The whole point of it is just make something an hour. That was beautiful. Beautiful thing. And now we're in for the last one for today. Roll Log I. I've only heard one thing with him before. I made a collabo with him actually. He just threw a loop up and I finished a beat out of it and it turned into a fucking banger. So I know he's got the shit. Let's see what he came up with in 1 hour. Synthesizers, promising. I don't know if he's trolling or not, this Yuda boy. Okay. Technological. I'll add you on Instagram, man. There. J Dilla for life, we like it. Yeah. I like that. Different vibe to it. He says it was slightly ear rape because he didn't get time to mix it, but sounded fine in these here cheap headphones. And it's only 1 minute 30 seconds, but that doesn't matter neither. The point is you get the idea out and it's there. So that was the last one. Now I've been thinking about this a little bit. What happened? The first time that we did this, it was me and Das, the beat junkie. It was just this idea. Hey, hey, I got a spare hour. Should we make a beat and see what we come up with? And we did that. And like I said, judging by the quality of all these beats we heard just now, this is just proof of concept for me, at least. I take it as you can do brilliant stuff, and usually the brilliant stuff happens within the first 10 or 15 minutes. That's what happens for me. It might be different for some people, but I'd like for people to explore this. There's less time for guessing, second guessing yourself and nitpicking stuff. Like you go with you're able to extract your natural groove right there in that moment and not focus so much on calculating. You know what I'm saying? Should I do something like this or something like that? You just do it. And then also many times that's when you get the best shit, because it's like you're in touch with your own vibe at that moment. So also another pro with it is artists, they usually want the most bare bone stuff. So you might have spent 5 or 6 hours on one beat with all this stuff happening all over the place, and then you sit down at a session and you have a listen with the artist, and they like a certain beat, but they want you to strip it from everything but the drums and like the core element of it, like a loop or a melody line or something like that. So that also helps you find what's the most important part of it. And just imagine, instead of spending those 5 hours on a beat, you can spend those 5 hours on at least 5 different ideas and have enough of a structure to make it presentable. So you can work in volume and improve your quality at the same time, because within that time span you're going to improve your quality and being efficient at bringing it in quality. And you know, it's just a good amount of pressure to work under pressure without feeling pressured. And this also is very much in line with what I'm trying to work on, which is making beats on the spot without feeling too pressured by, I get this performance anxiety. I can't lie. When someone wants to make something on the spot, I get this performance anxiety because I'm very used to making stuff in solitude with complete control over everything. And I think this is a good exercise in some ways for that too. It's like when you're brainstorming, you know, you're just throwing ideas out there. And ironically, they're usually the best ones, the ones that just come intuitively. I don't know. What do you think about it? Should we do this more often? I think it was fun. Rolling man. White devil? Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that man. I don't even think he's from Greenland, to be honest. Well, guys, nice little check-in with y'all. I'll see you very soon on the forums, the chat, the server. Beautiful beats. I'm fucking impressed. I'm actually, to be honest, this was amazing. I'm amazed by what you came up with. Yeah, hug attack him. I gotta skip to the tram now, home to the old wifey. Scotland is in the house. Just when the fun is about to start, I need to do this. Tomorrow, yeah, more. I'm not going to be able to stream on every single occasion, but you know, challenge each other too. You don't have to wait for me to be the initiator of it. Just hit people up in the couch and say, let's do this 1 hour. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Because there are going to be occasions where not everyone is aligned in time zone wise. You know, I am Swedish, but I love to toy around with accents sometimes and sound retarded. That's basically all it is. So my accent sometimes is a mixture of 20 different accents. Thank you, man. Oh, Rafa is coming up. Why? Why are all the cool people showing up when I need to leave? Okay, guys. Rafa, I want to speak to you very soon. Please. Obrigado. Okay? Okay, bye-bye.